language in modern era now, the language transitioned from sacred tool to the rational and communicative tool. You know that the before everything which was written on a piece of paper, because on that time usually the printing press was not there. Printing press was very limited in some area in China, in some area in Europe, and very rarely in Ottoman Empire, which was predominant in Middle East or in some part of Europe. And because of limiting printing press, that all the language was sacred before modern era. But when the printing press was invented, the modern era started, and copy of every uh, discovery or thing started to publish all over the world, and that brought a great thought pattern all over the world. And also, more importantly, people who can think, they can communicate through verbal, non-verbal means of language, and they did actually. That's why millions books were written since then in last for a couple of years, hundreds of years, and and now we are speaking, like at the moment I'm speaking with you as my communicative tool. If I can't write the book, I can still speak with you. I can communicate my message, my philosophy, my keynotes which I want to share with you. So this is the biggest revolution and breakthrough we had started in modern era. So language was the greatest tool. Yeah, even in nowadays in school, we teach English language, French language, uh, Arabic language, Spanish language, Hindi language, Japanese language, Chinese language to our children. Why? And more we emphasize on learning of the quality of the language so that we can communicate well, we can um, uh, and we should be able to write books, speak well, and share a lot of things in a personal space and in a social space as well. We should be able to share it, and that is making human as a very survival species. Because we can communicate our feelings to other, our thoughts to other, and so that other people should aware about if I'm going to die, other people will aware about if my nation is dying because of something. So before extinction of your nation, you can follow some measuring tools, because I did communicate with you. That's why the science was prevailed all over the world. Even science was started one part of the world, and then it started to propagate in other part of the world. So people all across the globe, they start study science, and they brought the same things in Europe, and they invented the same thing in Asia or in America. So so that the science became the universal phenomena for all people and nations in the world. That's why the that modern era is so influencing, so effective, and many in many perspective positive as well. In addition to lot of criticism and negative impact of this revolution brought to the humanity. For example, in terms of atomic bomb, in terms of the war weapon, in terms of the arsenals every country is going to have. This is all because of the science, because there was no morality behind the scientific um, I mean, scientific discoveries, but every country tried to gain the power, and now our whole world is very insecure. Okay, anything can uh, can do any gigantic or catastrophical disaster to the whole planet. We are at the verge of extinct as well if all atomic bombs are going to explode. So, that is all because of science without proper morality or controlling, which is usually God used to do, or maybe we are lack of spirituality. Uh, uh, that's why we are threat of our own existential aspect as well. Unfortunately, that is uh, so mean to humanity. And so scary as well. Also, in modern era, a lot of philosophers emphasize on clarity, precision, and logical reflection, which was a byproduct of scientific revolution. Uh, Also, scientific language separated myth from the empirical reality, right? For example, people used to believe this whole world or earth where we living is a flat, is a just flat piece of earth or ground. But the science said the reality is this world is a globe. This world, this entire ground where we are standing, we are living, all is a goal, a, a piece of ball in a whole cosmological overview. So this is the very significant clarity which we got now. But before all other things were myth, linguistic emerged with theorists like Ferdinand de Saussure studying the structure of language. Yeah, so we basically helped a lot immensely to propagate the importance of language and how the language is formed when the subject, object, and verb they mix together in form of in a certain pattern. Then we make meanings, and these meanings further explore. If we explore them, then they turn into a paragraph, which also make a better understanding about the topic and about the subject. So this is the amazing thing happened uh, in modern era. The more important and notable people are John Locke, who advocated for language as a tool of clarity and reason, uh, and Ferdinand de Saussure studied language as a system of sign. So this is also beautiful. Say again, this is a good as well. The system of sign. It's a very philosophical mean. I don't want to go here, but for your understanding, the sign, the system of sign mean. For example, if I say this is a calculator, yeah, let me see here. This is a calculator, um, and it is a calculator, right? But when somebody is saying it is a calculator, or it is a apple, or it is a glass, they just symbol speaking or saying or mentioning as a symbol of that thing. Actually, they cannot say the real apple or real glass or real calculator of of that thing. They just speak. So the language is just a symbol of actual object. Okay, it is not actual object they carry with. Okay, so this philosophy is less understood by we all because we think that what we are speaking or writing about something we actually know in 100% way of that thing, like that thing is in my hand. Okay, so this is something important, and that was a question by many spiritual people later, because that is a error of modern